Let's go to Joe Biden. He said that he's considering Australia's request to end the decade-long push to prosecute WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, of course, over the release of troves of classified documents. Have a look.
Do you have a response to Australia's request that you end Julian Assange's prosecution?
We're considering it.
Now, of course, it wasn't the most considered answer in the world, though, nor is any answer you get from Joe Biden, really.
No.
But should we take some solace out of this? I suppose, of course, there's been a fair bit of support for Julian Assange across the political spectrum in Australia of late, that perhaps there could be something on the cards. There's been talk of even a plea bargain. We don't know whether or not that would be forthcoming, but should we perhaps take heed that there might be either a lesser sentence or even a drop of the case?
Yes, well, I think we certainly should rather. I think it was good news. Look, it was a very halting answer, I agree, very typical of Joe Biden, but I think that he meant to say it. And certainly the embassy here has taken it seriously. I think the Australian government's taken it seriously. Some of Assange's lawyers who I've spoken to are taking it seriously. And of course, it does come a few weeks after a piece in the Wall Street Journal that says people inside the Justice Department were thinking of downgrading the charges quite significantly to misdemeanours, which would basically mean that he could be released. So I think there is some truth to this, and so there should be. I mean, the Australian Parliament has passed motions on this. There've been a number of visits to Washington from US senators and MPs, pleading for clemency here. And we are one of the US's best allies, maybe the best ally, and so I think we should get something in return from that. And so I do hope that this leads to a dropping of the charges.
Just very quickly, Australia and the AUKUS partners, the US and the UK, have confirmed speculation that they'll consider other countries, including Japan, in some of the alliance's advanced military systems. Obviously, this is likely to antagonise China, given its long opposed AUKUS. What else did we learn from the Prime Minister of Japan's visit, Fumio Kishida's visit to the White House this week?
Well, look, I mean, it was mainly around the AUKUS Pact and the willingness of Japan to take part in projects related, to the second part of AUKUS, which is the development of advanced weapons and advanced weapons systems. Look, I must say it's all very vague and it's very far out into the never. It's quite it's quite hard to get excited as a journalist about, promises that are made for the 2030s. I mean, that's still 7 years away. Many things can happen. Many governments can change. But look, I think it's good news that Japan wants to get involved. But I think there is a risk to some extent with AUKUS of having too many cooks in the kitchen. I mean, as more and more countries want to join, there's more and more bureaucracies, more and more issues. So we really need to bed down, from Australia's point of view, we really need to bed down the subs. That is the most important thing. I think the Pillar 2 bit is quite secondary in my view.